The member from London Fanshawe.
Speaker, my question is to the Acting Premier. I've been meeting with seniors in my riding who lived on fixed incomes. They tell me they are forced to make tough choices while they're at home during the day. They are being forced to turn off the heat. They can't cook their meals. Speaker, they can't stay up all night to shift their hydro usage to off-peak hours. For seniors, hydro is not a luxury the way it is for the Premier. Will the Liberal government scrap their ineffective time-of-use hydro pricing policies, as the NDP has proposed, and reduce hydro bills for seniors?
Thank you.
Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, I'm pleased to rise. And, Mr. Speaker, that's the whole reason why we're actually bringing forward a plan, Mr. Speaker, is to make sure that those families, those seniors who are struggling, Mr. Speaker, who aren't seeing the benefit of our economic rebound, Mr. Speaker, who don't necessarily see the benefit of us rebuilding the system, that we can actually find ways to help them even more, Mr. Speaker. We've done that with the 8% reduction, but we know we can do more, Mr. Speaker. The Ontario Electricity Support Program is something that seniors can use, that many other families can use, those that use electric heat, those that need medical devices, Mr. Speaker. But that's why we recognize that we can find a way, Mr. Speaker, to do more. And that's why we're actively working right now, Mr. Speaker, to find immediate relief. I know the opposite member talked about the NDP proposal, Mr. Speaker. There was nothing, Mr. Speaker, nothing in that proposal that had immediate relief. We're working on, Mr. Speaker, finding a relief package that will be immediate, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, the Liberal government's own report show that time-of-use pricing does not encourage conservation or shift the demand away the demand the government has hoped for. All it has done is punish ratepayers who can't use hydro during off-peak hours, like seniors, like stay-at-home parents, and like businesses. The Premier can reduce the bills of these ratepayers immediately by scrapping the time-of-use pricing as the NDP has proposed. Will the Liberal government scrap their ineffective time-of-use pricing policies now?
Mr. Speaker, absolutely not, because what the NDP doesn't see by scrapping time of use, the rates for every single ratepayer in this province, Mr. Speaker, will go up. And, Mr. Speaker, we're making sure that that's not going to happen. That's why, Mr. Speaker, we recognize that there are some families that actually could benefit from a different type of plan rather than time of use. And so we've worked, Mr. Speaker, for the last 6 months with our system operator on having them looking at, Mr. Speaker, coming up with some alternatives for that type of program. But that type of program, Mr. Speaker, that type of change won't be immediate. And that's what we're working on, Mr. Speaker, immediate relief for families. They're talking about maybe some things that possibly might add up, Mr. Speaker, in the very, very far distant future. We're working right now, Mr. Speaker, for immediate relief.